Pokemon TCG Live, the brand new Pokemon TCG online game client, comes with 9 free decks. All you have to do is make an account. You can even skip the tutorial, and you get these 9 free ready-to-play decks in the game. Now, I'll be doing a full feedback video, maybe multiple, about the game overall, but today I just wanted to go over these free decks that you get because I think they are just fantastic. They are pseudo competitive. They're ready to go. You can start playing on the ladder, getting rewards, and learning how the competitive standard format works, or just have some fun with 9 different decks that come with really good cards. So let's start with the Zacian and Zamazenta deck here, one of the 9 decks that you get. Zacian Zamazenta comes with 2 Zacian V, 2 Zamazenta V, and a Crobat V. So there are 5 premium cards here. Zacian V is a really strong basic Pokemon. It has an ability that lets you draw cards, accelerate energy to itself, and then it has Brave Blade that does a whopping 230 for 3 energy. And then Zamazenta V cannot be dealt damage to it by Pokemon VMAX. So if your opponent has strong Pokemon VMAX, Zamazenta V just completely ignores them, and also has a decent attack that does 130 and discards a special energy. The deck comes with a lot of metal support, so you have metal energy, metal saucers that attach extra metal energies to your metal Pokemon, and then also the Galarian Berserker that says your metal Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. This deck and all the decks really are ready to be played, but they can also be upgraded with some new cards like Choice Belt and Ultra Ball, and you get some credits just by signing into the game that you can craft cards with. But it's really amazing that, they give us these starter decks. It comes with 4 Professor's Research, 4 Marnie, 3 Boss's Orders. These are all staple cards that you will find in most competitive decks, and the game gives you them all for free in these decks, so that's really great. Next up, we have Suicune V. Suicune V Ludicolo is a good deck, and typically it's going to be played alongside of the Inteleon engine, which isn't in this deck, but you do have Inteleons in your collection that you can customize this deck with, because we have the Decidueye Inteleon deck as well. So they give you a lot of different deck engines, whether it's to do extra damage like Ludicolo. When you evolve this Pokemon, your basic Pokemon's attacks do 100 more damage that turn. But they also give us Crobats and Altarias that can fetch you supporter cards and put them on top. Like I mentioned, the Inteleons, the Galarian Berserkers for the metal deck, and so on. So this deck is going to really utilize Melanie to accelerate water energy while also drawing cards. And then Suicune V does a lot of damage for being a basic Pokemon. It could do a maximum of 220, and it also has an ability that lets it draw a card. But, like I said, Ludicolo allows you to do an extra 100 damage. And then it even comes with a 1/1 Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX line. Like, these decks have so many good cards in them. It's great. So that's your Suicune V deck. If you're a fan of Suicune, if you're a fan of Ice Rider Cali, if you're a fan of water decks in general, that might be your thing. Or if you even like Lotad, he has a cool hat. So next we'll go look at Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This one is very close to being a tier 1 deck. It comes with a 4/4 line of Houndoom. Houndoom allows you to search your deck for a Single Strike energy and attach it to one of your Single Strike Pokemon. Really, really strong considering we've got this big boy here, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, that can do Gmax 1 blow for 270 damage, but Single Strike energies, which this deck comes with 4 of, each make your Single Strike Pokemon do 20 more damage. So you can do over 300 damage with Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This deck is very close to being tournament ready. All you really need is some Umbreon Vs and some Umbreon VMAX to replace this Single Strike Urshifu line. But this Single Strike Urshifu isn't too bad itself. It is Dark type, so there are popular Pokemon like Mew VMAX out there that are weak to Dark, and this little guy can do 200 damage for just 3 energy. And if they're weak to Dark, that's going to be 400 damage. So this is another really, really solid deck. Next, we're on to Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. This might be one of the underwhelming decks they give you, but it still gives you some great cards. We get a 2/2 line of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and the reason why it's underwhelming is because Shadow Rider decks typically play with 4 of the V and 4 of the VMAX, and just try to flood the board with 4 Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAXs. So this one is a little bit underwhelming, but the Underworld Door ability is really neat. You get to attach a Psychic Energy from hand to a bench Psychic Pokemon and then draw 2 cards, and its attack max Geist does more damage for every energy attached to all of your Pokemon. But I think this puts up a pretty good fight against all of the other free decks, or starter decks if you want to call them that, but calling these decks starter decks really don't do them any justice. These are much better than what I would consider a starter deck. Next, onto the Rapidstrike Urshifu deck that has the full Inteleon line. We've got these Drizziles that search your deck for any trainer card. We've got Inteleon that searches your deck for 2 trainer cards. And then the other Inteleon that puts 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon once a turn. Those are going to be great support for searching out cards that you need and also adding extra damage to the board. And then we have the main attraction of this deck, Rapidstrike Urshifu VMAX. Gale Thrust does 150 if it moved from the bench to the active, and Gmax Rapid Flow does 120 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. And we can even make that do more damage because they give you Telescopic Sight in this deck. It makes your attacks to benched Pokemon V do 30 more damage, and they give you Passimian Throwing Coach. It does 30 more damage to bench Pokemon V, all of your Rapid Strike attacks. So the people over at TPCI did a great job designing these decks. These are just about tournament ready. Next, we've got Rapidstrike Malamar. This is my personal favorite of the free decks that you get, because this one is like just minuscule cards away from being like tournament ready, like ready to go win some tournaments. So Rapidstrike Malamar, really good. Reveal any number of Rapid Strike cards from your hand. This attack does 40 damage for each card you revealed in this way, so you can do just a ton of damage, ludicrous amounts of damage. I have edited this deck, so at the end of the video, I'll show you guys the changes I've made so far and what my current version looks like, but I did it all with the free credits. I didn't need to spend money, or like, well, you can't spend money in the game right now, but I didn't need to like transfer my account. I didn't need to buy codes and scan them, is what I meant. It's real easy. It just needs some very small additions, in my opinion, to be perfectly optimal, but this deck is great. Next, we have Inteleon VMAX, another one of the underwhelming decks, but you can just add the Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon line and fix this deck up right quick. But it's still pretty good. If you're interested in a card like Frostmoth that just lets you flood the board with water energies, and if you're a fan of Inteleon VMAX like I am, it has 2 great attacks. Hydro Snipe 60, you may put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand, so a little bit of disruption there. And then Max Bullet does 160 and also 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. We've got a little single prize attacker action with this beautiful Suicune that can do 130 and then bring those energy back to the hand. And, of course, a plethora of supporter cards and trainer cards that are all great. We've got our 4 Quick Ball happening. We got the 3 Evo Incense, the 3 Boss, the 4 Research. Just, really building the deck out to be consistent and give you a feel for what a tournament deck feels like. Decidueye Inteleon here is another single prizer only deck. No VMAX Pokemon, no V Pokemon, no rule box Pokemon of any kind, using that Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon engine. But the main thing here is Decidueye with Deep Forest Camo. It can't be damaged by V Pokemon and GX Pokemon, but those aren't in standard format anymore. But can't be damaged by Pokemon V. That's really good. So it just sits out there, does its, moderate amount of damage, 90, 20, 20 each turn, while just taking no damage from Pokemon V. And then last, but probably not least, is a really cool Blissey V deck. So Blissey V just has 6 Pokemon in it, but it comes with 4 copies of Blissey V. Like, that's a heck of a good starter deck, if you ask me. Blissey V has the Blissful Blast. Blissey V Blissful Blast. Say that 5 times fast. For 1 colorless, it does 10 damage, but this attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to it. And if you did any damage, you can attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. And that could be special energy. So You can have all these special energy in the deck. It also plays 4 psychic energy, so you can use Suspicious Food Tin to heal your Blissey. It also plays Lucky Ice Pops to heal your Blissey. It plays Hyper Potion. It plays Potion. A bunch of healing going on. So if you want to just build up a thick old Blissey here with a bunch of energy cards and keep healing it and not let your opponent take prizes, this is going to be a great deck for you. I think this is a really fun deck as well. So those are the 9 free decks that you get just for signing into PTCG Live. Now, this is in beta, and it's only available in Canada. I'm using a VPN because I do not live in Canada with the Mooses A. But let me show you real quick my edited version of Rapidstrike Malamar. This is my edited version. So I've added Turffield Stadium, which searches your deck for an evolution grass Pokemon. And then I've added Skiplooms because they are rapid strike cards you could search out to do more damage with Malamar. You can search them with Level Ball, Incense, whatever. You can get them out with Turffield once a turn, shuffle them back for damage, and get them out again. You also can't start it because it's not a basic Pokemon, so that's good. Like I said, it's level ball searchable. I've added Manaphy to protect our bench from bench damage. I do want to add a different Minccino. There's a good Minccino from Brilliant Stars that I haven't added yet that has the Call for Family attack. And we've added Fog Crystals, which I forget Fog Crystals were already in the deck. I did add Cynthia's Ambition. That's a new card from Brilliant Stars. Draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw cards until you have 8 instead. And I will export this and put it in the description of the video in case you guys want to see my edits and just import it and then craft the cards you need for the edits that I've been playing with for my Malamar deck. I think I'm like 10-1 with this deck so far on PTCG Live. It's really, really good. So, those are the free decks plus my edits to the one Malamar deck that you get just for signing into PTCG Live. Now, I don't think this will change between beta and full release. So when it's full release, everybody can play it on your phones, on your tablets, on your computers, no matter if you live in Canada or not. These free decks will be there waiting for you. They're really, really good. I'm excited for the future of Pokemon TCG Live. I do think there's many things to work on still with the client, but this is one of the highlights, making it very, very accessible and easy to just get on and try new decks. They give you so many different kinds of decks to try, so if you just haven't played the Pokemon trading card game in years, or maybe even ever, you could just hop right in, find a deck you like, and get to playing, which is really what you need in a Pokemon or in a trading card game client in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon TCG content. Check out my sponsors, PotownStore.com, Beast Coast Pokemon, CardTrooperGames.com, and PokemonCard.io. Links for everything, including my Twitch and Discord, will be in the description down below. If you have any more questions, hop in the Discord. I'm happy to help in there. And I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.